Okay. Good morning, everyone. Morning. Okay, thank you once again for coming here for this activity. This is the third step for the search process for the Deanship of the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies and Faculty of Management and Development Studies. Okay. Last February 18, we had heard the reports of the incumbent deans, okay, presenting the state of the faculty. And today we would have the public forum of the nominees for both faculties. And this afternoon, we would have the sectoral consultations. At 1 o'clock, 1 to 2 would be the faculty, 2 to 3, reps and admin, 3 to 4 would be alumni and students, then 4 to 5 would be the interview by the chancellor. Okay. So today, in behalf of the conveners, once again, I would like to welcome you all to this activity. And before we're going to start, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our officials, okay, for the benefit, especially for those who are having with us online. Okay. So we have Dr. Grace Javier Alfonso, our chancellor. We have Dr. Melinda Lumanta, our Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. We have Dr. Jean Saludades, our Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration. We have Dean Melinda D.P. Bandalaria, Dean of the Faculty of Information Communication Studies, and the incoming Chancellor. Okay. Who else? We have Assistant Professor Al Librero, Director of the Information Communication Technology Office. Okay. Tado. And Lana, no? Fina Flor, Director of Gender Office. Okay? So our mechanics for this public forum, we would have two nominees, one for each faculty, and they would be presenting to us this morning their flagship program. Unfortunately, one nominee would not be able to join us physically, but he would be with us virtually, and we would be viewing first his video presentation, after which it would be followed by the presentation of the other nominee. Then we would have the open forum for both nominees after all the presentation. Okay. So let me introduce the first nominee for the Deanship of Faculty of Information and Communication Studies, is in the person of Dr. Alexander G. Flor. Dr. Flor has served the UP Open University as the first Dean of the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies in 2004 to 2010. As the first Dean, Dr. Flor oversaw the successful merging of computer science, information science, and communication science under one faculty. He has linked the UPOU, FICS, to the Food and Agricultural Organization Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific, the InfoBridge Foundation, Netherlands, the EU, Intersard Initiative, CGR, the China Agricultural Broadcast and Television School, and other development agencies. Okay, Dr. Flor has also served as the UPOU Vice Chancellor for Research and Development from 2002 to 2003. He has coordinated academic and operations research, continuing education, and systems infrastructure of the so-called cyber campus of the University of the Philippines, Open University. Dr. Flor was also responsible for resource generation and delivery systems development. Through his initiative, UPOU became a hub of PreGenet, the Philippine network tapping the non-commercial research and education internet backbone made available by APAN. He designed, developed, and supervised research projects on ICT program planning and policy, ICT for development, ICT and popular culture, the social impact of ICT, development communication, and knowledge management. Currently, he is holding a full professor rank in the university, and as full professor, he undertakes research and instruction on ICT 4D and KM 4D in collaboration with international organizations. Dr. Flor has done several research works in the areas of communication studies, ICT, KM, and open and distance e-learning. To cite a few, he has conducted a research on the promotion of ASEAN regional integration through open and distance higher education, which covers 10 ASEAN countries and with funding coming from UNESCO. He has done a research on various countries such as Laos PDR, Nepal, Indonesia, Fiji, Tajikistan, and many more. Dr. Flor has also published several articles in various international and national peer-reviewed journals, book chapters, and books, including those published by Elsevier, Taylor and Francis, ICDE, PSDL, and SESAM, to name a few. He has also presented several papers in international and national scientific conferences, both as a presenter and as a plenary speaker. He has been invited as article editor or as a reviewer in different scientific journals. Dr. Flor's extension activities revolve around the coordination, monitoring, and evaluation of IEC and ICT 4D programs. Dr. Flor was a Fulbright PAF postdoctoral scholar at the East-West Center Institute of Culture and Communication, Hawaii, and has a PhD and MS Development Communication from UP Los Baños and a Bachelor of Journalism, Silliman University. Okay. Without much ado, let us all welcome virtually, okay, the law nominee for the Faculty of Information Communication Studies, Deanship Dr. Alexander G. Flor.
My dear colleagues, I am grateful for this opportunity to share with you my vision for the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies, in spite of this physical distance between us. My vision for FICS is our collective vision for the UP Open University. We are not just an institution of higher learning. We are an open university. We are not just a convenient alternative for residential education. We stand for something. We stand for openness. We stand for radical changes in education. For the remainder of my stay in this institution, I would do all I can to bring the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies nearer to the ideals that we stand for. The UPOU FICS should champion open development. Thus, its proposed flagship projects for 2016 to 19 should be guided by a vision of openness in information and communication instruction, research, extension, and advocacy. In terms of instruction, the FICS will integrate massive online open courses into its formal programs by offering massive open versions of introductory courses under its programs at the baccalaureate, post-baccalaureate, and master's levels. These courses will be offered free of charge and open to the public. Should a student decide to continue with a program introduced by these courses, then they will undergo paid assessments for formal credits. In terms of research, FICS will actively pursue transdisciplinary mixed methods research on openness themes of information and communication studies. It will design and develop a research program on big data for development, with several studies covering a spectrum of concerns from analytics and data mining to big data impact on sustainable development goals. It will also explore the limits and hindrances of openness, particularly within a university setting. In terms of extension, the FICS approach to extension will be integrated. Its extension program will be implemented by multimedia, information systems, and communication teams that would expand its reach to other ASEAN countries. As we have heard in Dean Bandalaria's presentation last week, her term as dean is a hard or is a tough act to follow. Thus, what we could do is to expand her extension programs to other ASEAN countries. Our extension approach will likewise be integrated, employing transdisciplinary strategies such as knowledge management and the science of delivery. Along with other faculties, FICS will continue to support SHED and TESTA in capacitating other state colleges and universities to fulfill UPOU's commitments under RA 10650. And in terms of advocacy, employing our expertise in communication, FICS will actively promote the Paris message among education sector stakeholders and champion ODEL within ASEAN, CIMIO, and UNESCO. It will continue to highlight the Open University's contribution to the university's brand as the Philippines' foremost educational trailblazer. You know, of course, that I will be retiring in 3 years, and it will be a privilege and an honor to spend my remaining years at UPOU in this capacity. Once again, I am grateful to you, and I thank you for accommodating this long-distance vision presentation arrangement. Many thanks for your support.
Okay, just reserve your questions for Dr. Flor later during the open forum. Our next nominee, the lone nominee of Faculty of Management and Development Studies, Dr. Primo G. Garcia. Okay, uh, Dr. Garcia served the UP Open University as a faculty member and administrator since 2001. He has been the director of the Information Office as well as the Multimedia Center since 2010 and 2014, respectively. As head of the Information Office, he initiated the redevelopment of university website, repackaging of the communication collaterals of the university, creation and population of the university's social media accounts, setting up promotional exhibits, and holding of seminars and orientation on distance education of UPOU. He initiated job enlargement by encouraging and supporting staff members to go beyond their previously narrow and primary tasks to better respond to the growing needs of the university. During his term, the office nurtured relationships with some alumni working in media in order as part of its media relations efforts. From purely text, the Information Office also began producing promotional videos in various formats and tied this up with social media communication. The Information Office also conducted training for administrative staff members of other units to enhance their skills in promotion and client communication. As concurrent head of the Multimedia Center, He initiated the redevelopment of the UPOU networks, a web-based repository of open access educational materials in multimedia. Aside from establishing operational feedback systems, he also facilitated the renovation of MC office in Diliman and Los Baños. Dr. Garcia served as program chair of the Diploma in R&D Management in 2002 to 2003 and 2010, 2013 under the Faculty of Management and Development Studies. And during his first term, he initiated the revision of the DR and DM program, including the renumbering and institution of new courses. Since he entered the university, he has served the FMDS and its precursor, the Faculty of Management Sciences, as chair of Program Review Committee, Instruction and Curriculum Committee, and Research and Publications Committee and Project Development Associate for FMS. He also served as member of the FMDS Academic Personnel Committee, Task Force Committees on the Master of International Health, Master of Asian Studies, and Bachelor of Entrepreneurship and Green UPOU project team. At the university level, he acted as chair of the UPOU Cultural Committee, vice chair of the Bids and Awards Committee, and member of the University Curriculum Committee, University Research and Publications Committee, and UC Executive Committee. Professor Garcia has done several research work in the areas of organization studies, agribusiness management, R&D management, and open and distance e-learning. He has published several articles in local and international journals, book chapters, and books. He has also presented several papers in national and international conferences. His research projects were funded by national government agencies, including the OST and UP System, UPLB, and UPOU, and private organizations, including Sharka. Okay? As part of public service, he has been involved in several capacity building programs delivered online to professional sectors. He has developed online courses in leadership, business process management, child rights and protection, and R&D managers. He has been a resource person in various seminars in distance education held in other higher education institutions. Prof. Garcia has a PhD in Organization Studies from the University of Melbourne, Master of Business in Agribusiness from the University of Queensland, and BS in Agribusiness, cum laude, from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Again, without much ado, let us all welcome Dr. Primo Garcia.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Pasensya na at husky ang voice ngayon. Good morning to everyone. I am pleased to present to you my flagship projects or initiative for the Faculty of Management and Development Studies. The Faculty of Management and Development Studies is unique in the UP Open University for having a wide range of programs ranging from management to health to social work. No? It is a product of history, but at the same time, the Faculty of Management and Development Studies was able to, rather than be burdened by the product of this history, it was able to transform this into a strength as a multidisciplinary program or faculty at the UP Open University. Now, while I was thinking of the envisioned projects and initiatives for the Faculty of Management and Development Studies, I was guided by the following considerations. First, the FMDS is a provider of, in fact, a leading provider of graduate and professional continuing education programs in management and development studies delivered through open and distance e-learning. I would just like to emphasize ODEL, considering the fact that our next chancellor has made ODEL still the centerpiece of our efforts as an open university. And all the other activities, no, or initiatives that I will be presenting today would be supportive of the propagation of the ODEL worldview. And another factor to consider is the ASEAN integration, which leads to greater need, no, for professional development among our workforce to make them globally competitive given these developments in the region. And then, of course, there's the Republic Act 10650, or the Open and Distance Learning Law, which mandates the university to assist HEIs as well as TVIs in developing their distance education programs. Now, I think the FMDS in a good position to contribute to the field of management and development studies by tapping on to its major strengths. First, its multidisciplinarity and its ODL perspective and competencies. Given these considerations, I will present to you my vision in terms of the following key areas: teaching and learning, research, public service, administrative efficiency, and staff welfare. First, teaching and learning. Our goal would be to enhance the quality of learning experience of our students. First strategy to is enhance the quality of course development and delivery by adopting the following strategies. Implement regular updating of course materials across programs through the RBCP approach. Although most of the courses in R&D in FMDS are already using the RBCP approach, they are not adopted in equal extent. No, there are some courses or programs that are still tied up to the old model. So we have to look into that and apply the RBCP approach to all the courses under FMDS. We have to provide new faculty members a compendium of models or best practices in course development in management and development disciplines. I think this would be easier for the new faculty members and lecturers to be able to adapt to our way of teaching and learning. Provide regular training in course design and in cooperation with the Office for Student Support and Instructional Services, or OASIS. Train support staff in searching for relevant open access resources for course development in cooperation with the library. Because in the RBCP approach, I believe that the quality of the package is as good as the quality of the materials or resources that you are providing. We have to strengthen the faculty capacity programs in online assessment, as in assessment of for as learning in cooperation with OASIS. And aside from that, I think the faculty has already done a lot of initiatives in the past in terms of training in online assessment. I think we have to expand this in all of the programs. Provide training on learning strategies relevant to the field of management and development studies. Like there are specific learning approaches like case approach and problem solving learning that are very particular or very applicable to management and development studies. And we need to develop the skills of our faculty members in those areas as contextualized in open and distance e-learning. Strengthen the reliability of the online assessment system and expand its application in other FMDS program. And I'm glad that FMDS has already initiated an online examination system. We need to test it, improve on it, and apply it to all other programs because it's limited right now to MAN, I think, no? Part of when we talk about open and distance e-learning, we don't just talk about the quality of the materials and the way it's delivered, but also in terms of the openness. No, because an open university, we are mandated, bound to increase access to quality education. So these are my proposed strategies: institute new non-formal courses in areas related to the existing offerings. So we have to start from where we are right now. Review admission requirements of existing programs. This has already been done, but we have to review the other programs as well. Introduce multiple pathways and entrances in relevant programs. there are certain programs where the possibility of introducing a diploma would be beneficial for the students, or a certificate program. We have to develop massive open online courses, either from existing courses or in areas where the faculty has a distinct advantage. And we need to combine traditional and new media in offering relevant professional continuing education sources. Um, since we are mandated, no, since FMDS in its vision, no, in its mission, aims to contribute to national development, we need to consider as well how those people without access to internet can be reached. And traditional media like TV and radio has a place in this kind of in this type of target learners. Now, we also need to strengthen the ODL support system by transforming the current program guides to student manuals. I think there have been efforts now to enhance the current program guides of the FMDS. But a student manual is more than just a list of what to do and what not to do. We need to be able to explain to them what are the principles, and we need to be able to inform them of very specific information about intellectual dishonesty, about things that they need to consider as they go through from the time they enroll to the time they graduate, and strengthen the automation of appropriate student support mechanisms. The FMDS, the faculty secretary's office, have been very diligent in this aspect, and we need to continue that. Um, I think I don't want to propose the institution of new programs because there are still programs that are being developed right now, and we need to focus on those. Like institute undergraduate programs in social entrepreneurship or digital entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship. We have already the existing proposal. We really just need to improve on it and decide the structure, no? And the whether it's going to be an associate, a certificate, or a full bachelor's program. And then we have the master's programs in business or social entrepreneurship. There is still debates as to because so entrepreneurship is caters to different people. When we talk about entrepreneurs, we tend to think of businessmen, no? Small scale businessmen. But in fact, there is corporate entrepreneurship, there is social entrepreneurship, and there are different markets. No, these are different markets. We have to define those. And then the elevation to the master's program of the RNDM should be work on. This has been a this has been taking forever, no? And then there's the doctoral program in sustainability science, which I think would be very good for the faculty. And then as per tawag dito, yung sinabi ni Sir Jun last time, paalala niya, revitalize diploma in land use planning. I had to type it because I forgot it yesterday. No, I have to put it now, the diploma in land use planning. And I think when we develop the land use planning, it has to be in the new perspective, not the land use planning of before, of the modernist era. No? In terms of research, we have to enhance research productivity and the impact in priorities areas of concern. To be able to do this, these are the proposed strategies: conduct regular research forums and workshops on disaster preparedness in other areas where the faculty has comparative strength in terms of multidisciplinary expertise. And we have several faculty members who are experts, in fact, leading experts like Professor Sheila Bonito in disaster preparedness. And we have people who are working, who are quite familiar on realities on the ground, like Professor Afina Flor Thailand, no? And we have people in the public management areas. We have to be able to tap these different disciplines and expertise in order to establish a research identity in terms of disaster preparedness. We can submit research proposals to funding institutions in priority or high impact areas where the faculty has a comparative strength, like in terms of ODEL, interdisciplinarity approach, ICT, and development management processes. We need to provide training on academic publishing in management and development studies. As we all know, different disciplines have different standards in terms of publication, and we should be able to impart that to our faculty members. We can conduct roundtable discussions or workshops on academic journal reviewing. Part of our public service or contribution to our field is acting as reviewers for papers, no? And there's an art to reviewing publications, and we should be able to teach that to, especially to the younger faculty members, and to because it also enhances your ability to get published when you know how to review, when you're familiar with the review process. There is a Journal of Management Development Studies that was already initiated by Dr. Buot, and it had already several issues published. And it's right, the managing editor right now is the lady over there, Miss Joan. And we have to increase its publication rate. Right now, we only produce, I think, one issue in a year. And it has already been indexed in CHED. So we can already target the SUCs and the HEIs for that, and promote it to those institutions. But we need to explore other accreditation and the possibility of tying up with course requirements. We support the conduct of evaluation, research, and instructional innovations initiated by faculty members. I think I've seen this in other faculty offices. They have engaged the reps. The reps have partnered with faculty members in conducting evaluation research on the teaching and learning innovations that they've been doing in their own classes. So we can also adopt that in FMDS. Promote faculty members, support staff collaboration in paper writing and conference presentation, and provide avenues to enable academic staff members to translate conference paper into publishable forms. This is very important, considering that there's already a policy at the university level that you cannot apply for an RDG unless you have published the previous RDGs, no, 3 RDGs that you have already gone for. Now, in terms of public service, our goal is to harness ODEL to deliver public service programs of the faculty. Strategies: partner with other sectors in the development and deliver professional development programs contributing to nation building and internationalization. We all know that there are a lot of professional sectors that have been approaching us. In fact, they are the ones who are going to us and asking for professional development programs delivered online. And we have to turn down some of those because of lack of time. No, I think we have to look into those requests and work on those partnerships. In support of Republic Act 10650, we can develop short courses on topics in which the faculty has a comparative expertise, like strategic management in DE and financial management in DE. We can strengthen ODEL component of existing public service programs like the Earth Ambassadors, and develop relevant MOOCs and OOCs catering to important development sectors or issues. I think there are a lot of certain courses in women's studies, I think, can be developed for MOOCs because these cater to learners across the world, no? And we can develop podcasts where faculty members can discuss their public issues based on their research or extension work in cooperation with the Multimedia Center. Now, in terms of administrative efficiency, we need to build up administrative efficiency to support academic excellence by reviewing operation systems to streamline operations and further clarify accountabilities. Strengthen alumni relations, defining alumni as partners rather than just a source of funds. Expand automation of support systems to free up time for faculty and staff members. Strengthen faculty office and faculty member information and communication mechanisms. I think this is something that faculty members want. Update FMDS communication collaterals in cooperation with the information office. Enhance the FMDS website to highlight the accomplishments and contributions of its programs and its members. And coordinate program promotion efforts with the information office. Generate more resources by sourcing projects through partnerships with other institutions. Develop more fee-based non-formal courses. adopt assessment fee-based MOOCs, explore special tuition fee rates for certain programs. Like if we have programs in business entrepreneurship, and I think, and if the market target learners can afford it, then and if we could provide certain services that are not normally offered in other programs, then we can consider exploring the provision of special tuition fee rates, just like what the College of Business Administration has been doing. And corollary to the generation of resources is the practice of prudent fiscal management. Lastly, we have staff welfare. We need to promote staff's professional development and work-life balance. And this also appears in the vision paper of our next chancellor. We need to program the graduate studies of academic and administrative staff members, support the attendance of academic staff members. Actually, staff members, I need to remove the academic, strike at the word academic. Attendance of staff members in relevant conference and training, support Green UP OUN efforts in health and wellness initiatives, and provide opportunities for socialization among staff. That would be all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Garcia. Now, let us come to the open forum. I think Dr. Flor is already online. Okay, can we invite Dr. Garcia? So, and a laptop with the face of Dr. Flor. Okay, maybe we can have the question for Dr. Garcia. Online na siya. Mukha ko yun eh. Pero naka-project, di ba? Okay, while waiting for Dr. Flor. Yeah, so, any questions? Okay. Dr. Jean.
Hello.
Like this.
Hello, mic test. Can you hear me? Dr. Flor, can you hear us? Can you wave your hand if you can hear us? Maybe not. Dr. Flor, can you wave your hand if you can hear us? Dr. Flor? Hello. Hello, Sir Sandy. Hello, Sir Sandy, can you hear us? See, we wait for a while. Hello, Sir Sandy, can you hear us? Can you wave your hand if you can hear us?
I can hear you, but it's
not very clear.
It's not very clear.
Yes, sir. On behalf of the UPOU, the Chancellor and the UPOU family would like to extend our condolences to you and your family for the passing away. Our condolences.
We're grateful. We're grateful.
Okay, I have one general question for both nominees and a specific question for FMDS nominee, Dr. Garcia. for both nominees, we have in UPOU a claim that when we do our teaching, we also do our research and extension or the public service. I'd like to ask our nominees in what way would this be promoted, or is there a particular program that we can help develop this idea, and a specific program or specific projects that may promote, develop, or this idea, this claim of what we're doing in UPO. You are making it, how would I say, that its materiality to be seen by us and outside of UPOU. The question for Dr. Garcia is, what is your position about the idea that the health sciences should be separated from the Faculty of Management and Development Studies? And in what way? Thank you.
Okay. For the first question, maybe we can have Dr. Flor first, then Dr. Garcia.
I'm afraid I didn't get the question.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes. Please.
As a director of information, my message to the UP system has always been like this, as advised by the Chancellor. All we do in UPOU is public service, considering that we are an open university. So in all the courses that we do, considering the fact that we give more access to our learners, we do public service in those. But to be more specific about it, I think FMDS has already started a MOOC interlocal cooperation. That is a very clear manifestation of making learning more accessible by offering it freely, actually, basically. And we need to offer, as I mentioned a while ago, offering more courses, MOOC courses, in areas where there is a national development priority, and in areas where we have a comparative advantage as an institution. Now, I also mentioned OOCs, no? If you notice, hindi lang MOOCs/OOCs, because there are also certain topics which are not going to attract a large number of students, but nevertheless, they are important to the development of our country. And as a national university, we are mandated to offer those. And we need to talk about those areas where such courses can also be offered.
Being, let me see. Okay, in UPOU, we claim that we do our teaching, we do our research and public service as well. Are there specific programs and projects that you would develop or you propose to develop this idea or make it visible to our community? Well, actually, honestly, in my case, I find it so difficult to make a distinction or draw a line between my teaching and my research and public service. Could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You see, what I do in my public service or extension work, I feed back into my teaching. The results of the research that I do, it also finds its way into the courses that I teach. Okay. So they're like three legs in a three-legged table. Without one, the others will not be able to stand. So I see this as really second nature. It has to be, you don't need to dramatize it, to make a program out of it. All these years, I've considered myself an effective teacher because I could feed what I see in the field to my students. And my research finds its fulfillment in getting into the courses and the examples of the concepts that I teach. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Garcia for the second question.
Before I answer the second question, I would just like to add something. No, uh, I think the other aspect of the question is the question of visibility. I think that's one of the things Dr. Jean is driving at. In one of my strategies, I mentioned the development of podcasts where faculty members would be talking about their research and extension activities. No, discuss development issues not as themselves, but in terms of their involvement in the research and extension activities that they're doing as part of the university. Um, we've been planning to do that at the information, but for some reason or another, hindi medyo natuloy. But Joyce and I are about to launch the new website, and there's a section there about the things that we as a university can be proud of. Merong bagong section then, and I hope that whoever becomes the next information officer or head of the information office would look into that and expand on that. Now, to answer the second question, ano nga ba yung question? Nakalimutan ko na tuloy.
The
Yeah.
separation.
Health sciences. I think I was the one who wrote the proposal for the creation of the what do you call that? Sheila, yung parang meron tayong label eh. It's a group no, parang health sciences group no, to distinctly identify the health sciences program, but sadly it was not approved at the CAC. This was done in as early as 2010. And I think that proposal emanated from the faculty members of the health sciences themselves. And if that's going to happen, I think there should be a clear clamor from the Faculty of Health Sciences because they are the ones who really know the profession, their learners, and their stakeholders. And if it's clear no, from the faculty themselves that they want to separate, then I think the university, the whole university should support that. Pero umiiling si Sheila ngayon.
Okay. Any other questions for the nominees? Yes, Dr. Jean.
Another question for both. This is for both. Sir Sandy, Sir Sandy, this is for both of you. But I'll type it for you later in case po. The question is about the mentoring of the young faculty. What will be the specific steps that the nominees will take to ensure that the young faculty have professional development in place in their faculties?
Okay, can we have Dr. Garcia first, then Dr. Flor?
Wala yatang young faculty sa FMDS. Ay, sorry. Sorry. $40 and below ang young sa FMDS. Madami pang young. Actually, ko hindi rin. No? Pero, as I've mentioned, in terms of, I think the faculty members at the FMDS are quite competent in what they do. And based on the consultation that was done before, one of the suggestions was for the dean to trust the faculty members. No? And I think that's a very important lesson to end in. And having said that, my approach would be to provide the capacity building opportunities. And it's up for the faculty members to take that on and bring it to another level. Like we're going to provide them with training on academic publishing and academic reviewing, and continuously provide training on teaching and learning, and work with other faculty members in terms of research and public service. I think those are the kinds of things. I'm not going to be like a guru, no, na teaching young faculty members na how to do this and that. No, it's not going to be that way because first of all, para tayong ano in terms of age din sa FMDS, no? And then in terms of expertise, these are all experts then, no? And very much sure, a lot of them have already PhDs, di ba? Parang first among equals, ganon.
Okay. Can we have Dr. Flor?
Yes, yes. In the case of the young faculty, uh, uh, the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies, I honestly don't think I honestly don't think that they require any mentoring. They are experts in their own right. You must understand that in our field, much of the new knowledge now, much of the new knowledge is is hidden from the seniors like myself. So I suppose our young faculty members will mature or on their own without any mentoring from the oldies like myself. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have next question? Okay, Doc Jean. While others still thinking, we'll have Doc Jean.
Actually, I'm giving you time to think about question. One of the challenges of the UP president when we presented the budget for 2017 is how do you increase the enrollment of UPOU? Uh, his understanding of UPOU is that we have the technology for us to, and it's good that he said that the capability to teach large numbers of students. So the question now is how, what is your what plan or programs would your faculty make or develop to increase student enrollment?
Okay. So we would start with Dr. Garcia, then followed by Dr. Flor.
I think most of the programs in FMDS have a large number of students. In fact, some of them wouldn't want to accept more students given the staff complement that we have, like MAN, MPM. But there are other programs that have relatively small student population. Like for DRNDM, it has been stable, but it hasn't grown much. And the problem lies in the fact that it has no masteral program. No? That has been a common question among prospective students as well as past graduates. So the development of the masteral program is long overdue. It just needs to develop additional courses, no, to elevate it to the masteral program. Now, secondly, for other programs that have small population, we need to talk about in terms of the different ways by which these can be promoted or offered. In terms of promoted, that would have to be addressed in cooperation with the information office. Now, in terms of delivery, we need, because we have always been constrained by the idea that our courses can only be offered through the normal delivery system that we have as a university. Maybe we need to explore the, we just had the a forum on accreditation of MOOC courses, maybe we could explore ways by which certain parts of our courses can be offered as MOOCs, and also find ways by which such MOOCs can be officially accredited towards a degree. Um, because I think different professional sectors have different needs, and we should be able to address those programs on a per program or a per sectoral level.
Okay, Dr. Flor.
The question. The question. Uh, through the sound system, measures and programs to increase enrollment. Okay. In the flagship instruction program that I described earlier, I mentioned about the integration of massive open online courses into our formal programs. I would I sincerely think that opening up our introductory courses, our survey courses, in the formal programs that we are offering would open up our programs for large scale enrollment. And there is a marketing, so-called marketing scheme that I would like to try. That since in MOOCs, everything is free up to the time when you, or up to that time when you start having your formal assessments. But I would like to propose that each uh, person or each student who would sign up in a MOOC should bring with him another student or buddy, so it becomes a requirement, or quote unquote, it becomes part and parcel of your admission into the MOOC system, is to get somebody along. So it would work like a network, work like a network. I guess with this, we will, there's an unlimited potential for our uh, for our enrollment to increase.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Flor. Next
Do you
question.
require any? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you get my answer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Doc Joan.
My question is about the kailangan dito husky voice. Okay. My question is about my question my question is about the blending of the traditional and the new media. Because I'm really interested in that. Actually, as a research area. Because I was thinking, most of our students, the profile of our students really are from the metropolis, and unlike in in the first 5 years of the UPOU, wherein we're able to reach out really to the the marginalized, those people who do not have access to the internet. So how do you think you would be able to concretize that kind of plan? This question is for the both nominees. Thank you.
Okay, I think the question is still being typed for Dr. Flor. Can we have Dr. Garcia?
Um, I think in the past kasi we've offered our courses. Actually, we've limited to print before, no? Print lang talaga. We have not really explored much yung broadcast media in the past. No, no, really, not really, right? Oo, lumakdaw, no? In the evolution of open and distance learning, ano yan eh? Um, we start with print and then broadcast and then web-based and then yung mga ganyan, artificial intelligence system. But I've heard that there are plans by the UP system to put up a TV network for UP, and I think UPOU will be tapped to get involved in that, and we need to take advantage of that. We could use television as a medium for the delivery of some of our courses. But the trick here is the combination of the traditional with the new. No? Kasi ang model in the past, traditional, separates sa new. But the innovation is how to blend the two. And the best way to do this is to experiment it through our non-formal courses. No? Muna, ano? Natutuwa ako kasi yung non-formal courses, there's greater leeway for experimentation, no? And whatever lessons we learn from those, we can apply them to our formal programs, no? Kasi we also need to realize na when we offer or adopt a new medium, there are always costs involved. And hindi lang naman yun a matter of making a program accessible eh. Part of the access is cost, no? So kung halimbawa it would be more expensive to our formal learners. Kasi remember before it was expensive for them to go to face-to-face study sessions and difficult. Kaya tinanggal din natin yon at that time, no? So we need to be able to balance each and every aspect nung mga ating delivery approaches.
Okay, can we have Dr. Flor?
Could somebody read what I've written on chat? Infinite array. Openness implies an infinite array of methods that we should explore. Methods that may have been considered outside the bounds of a conventional education. Okay. And these may not have anything to do with new media at all. Okay, I'll read this. No, one dimension of open and distance learning that we may have neglected is the O in the concept of openness. We may have been fixated exclusively on e-learning in ODEL. Openness implies an infinite array of methods that we should explore, methods that may have been considered outside the bounds of conventional education. these may not have anything to do with new media at all. That's it.
Okay. Yes, Professor Fina.
Hello, hello, hello. Am I hearing myself? Hello. Okay, I'll just make my voice louder. As we expand the university's projects, activities, and even reach, I personally in the FMDS already feel the need for greater number of faculty, especially that we have been expanding our academic programs. We have some programs which we do not have a faculty or program chair for that matter. Um, so I'm thinking what could be some ways on how we can increase the number of faculty and even our staff. Most of our staff are NGWs, and we know the some of the implications. Yeah, but I would like to to hear also from the dean. I don't know if FICS also feels the same way, but I feel it from from as a faculty from FMDS that somehow we may need to. I don't know. Perhaps there's a plan or suggestion or recommendations that we can think of on how we can better address that issue or yung ganun. Because especially in the context of the new law, and we will have for sure more activities and projects to come. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Garcia.
We will pressure the chancellor, who in turn will pressure the president. Hopefully, will get pressured. Pero I'm not so sure. There have been news floating around that there would be additional yeah, items. Yeah. Hindi mo narinig. Anyway, floating pa lang, so it could vanish in the air. No? It could vanish in the air. So, but the thing is, I think FMDS has done a lot of efforts in terms of providing additional staff complement, no, to support our faculty members, particularly in terms of providing learners support. And we need to continue that. And aside from that, I think we also need to improve on our information dissemination to our learners in terms of the student manual and operations manual. No? Things like this would also help probably lessen the load in terms of answering student inquiries. And if there are the faculty secretary's office have done a lot of improvements already in terms of automating some of the learner support systems. We need to continue those. I think our approach would be to make use of what we have more efficiently.
Okay. Is it
Is it
intended
my turn?
for both nominees? For both nominees. Okay. Yeah. If I see yes. Okay. So may prob actually si Dr. Flor sa sound. Okay. And he's just typing his answer sa ano. Unfortunately, I would like sana to project yung answer ni sir.
Okay. Kasi, kasi my battery is running low and the Skype is automatically taking out some of the functions like video, so on and on. But my answer to Fina is that again we can explore open arrangements on hiring and staffing. if administrative constraints present us from hiring regular staff or prevent us from hiring regular staff, then we can try other things. Plus the fact that if we increase enrollment, then we increase the possibility of, well, we could increase the staff complement also.
Okay. So just to reiterate Dr. Flor's answer, okay? Sabi ni Dr. Flor, again, we can explore open arrangements on hiring and staffing. If administrative constraints present us from hiring regular or prevent us from hiring regular staff, then we can try other things. So if we can increase enrollment, then we can increase the staff complement. Yeah, si Dr. Flor. Okay, siguro while waiting for Dr. Sandy, we can have another question for Dr. Garcia. You can write. Then we can ano. Okay. Yeah, yung gustong magtanong pa kay Dr. Sandy kasi nag-empty bot daw siya. Maybe you can write your questions, okay, for Dr. Flor. Then we can send it to Dr. Flor. Yeah, and we would do you have Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Question ko lang relates to the yung sa assessment ng mga FICS, no. How
Ma'am, kindly use the
ng tawag dito ng FICS on how do we use this? Yeah, the set. Yun bang how do we use this in improving the yung mga natin FICS, because we receive comments but I don't know how do we use this. Kasi syempre if you receive good comments, well and it's good, you're happy with it, but if not, how are we going to use this to improve? Because ang may mga comments kasi na dapat i-take up to improve yung delivery sa mga students. I know that you're well aware of this. So yun sana ang concern ko lang, kasi if we're not using this, di sayang naman And also, do we have a program to really encourage the students to answer the evaluation forms? Kasi for example, in my last in the last semester, estudyante ko is about 30 something, pero 7 lang ang sumasagot. So sana, do we have a program or something that will really encourage the students? Yun lang.
Yeah, the set scores have been a consistent problem for us kasi very few of the students answer. So the reliability of the scores is put into question. I think that has to be discussed at the university level. We can bring it up to the university level and see whether it can be a required, something that could be required of our students. But in the past, FMDS has actually used this, especially those faculty members who have really outrageously low scores, as a basis for the reappointment or non-reappointment of those of those affiliates and lecturers. And the submission of grades has also been another basis by the faculty office for for the rehiring of those people. No? And we're going to continue that. Now, in terms of the comments, no, the qualitative comments being given by the students, I'm not so sure about that. Maybe we could make use of those as a basis for the design of our capacity building program for faculty members. Ano lang naman yan, and there are two aspects lang yan kung bakit may problem. Either hindi kaya or ayaw gawin. Doon sa ayaw gawin, wala tayong magagawa doon. It's either you don't appoint them or...
Yes, ma'am. Follow up.
The other question is about the students, the overseas students. Because I think some of my students were not able to take the exam because they were not properly informed on where and how they're going to take the exam. So last semester, I informed them, please inform the UPOU that you are an overseas students, because I think what is being reflected in their registration is their address here in the Philippines. And so if they change their address in the middle of the semester, so I think UPOU is not informed of this. So I don't know on how we're going to deal with this. Also, although I always inform my students at the beginning of the semester, starting the semester, that if they are overseas students, please inform UPOU immediately. But I don't know for other courses.
Yeah, I do the same, but also encountered the same problem. No? And I think this can be addressed by the creation of the student's manual. No? And at the same time, ma'am, kasi po may reason din bakit sila nag-Philippine address eh. So they don't have to pay the $500 EDF eh. No, sorry. $100 application fee. Kaya yun ang ginagawa nila. So hindi nila nare-reflect yung kanilang foreign address, no. Pero this is going to be addressed by our faculty secretary's office, no, who have already established the structures, no, and the system. I'm confident that the structures and the systems that have already been put in place would be able to answer these concerns. At times po kasi because of the nature of the work, no, the volume of the work, some of these medyo nakakalusot po eh, nagkakaroon ng problem. And there are also faculty members who are not probably they are not so clear about what to put in the course guide, no, exactly, no. The course guides are not so exhaustive. They don't have the mindset yet na walang tatanungan estudyante. So everything has to be there in the course guide. Yung ganung mindset that has to be inculcated in the faculty members, especially the affiliate and the adjunct, no. Wala silang teacher na katabi dito. So to the point na maging praning ka na i-include mo lahat. It's okay na mas sobra kaysa kumulang. Yung ganong information, pag-provide the information.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Garcia. Yes, we still have time. Yeah, Dr. Jean. Is this for both?
This is my last question. I promise. I promise. This is my last question. If appointed, this is for both nominees. If appointed, what would you anticipate to be your greatest hurdle?
Okay, Dr. Garcia.
I I think the consistent problem in FMDS has always been the lack of staff complement, considering the large number of programs and students that the faculty is offering. And when you have to deal with such numbers, there could be frictions, and those frictions, of course, have to be managed. Not They have to be managed by introducing institutional mechanisms. No.
Okay. I'm still waiting for Dr. Flor's answer. Yeah, we're chatting through the upou.edu.ph mail. Okay. No, ma'am. Text lang, text. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Flor has also parang comment doon sa set. I'd like to read his comment. He said, I believe set has lost its meaning and is no longer applicable in our context. Improving our set course may not have anything to do with teaching effectiveness. My take is to overhaul assessment system. Yeah, that's for the set. Okay, my take is to overhaul the assessment system. Yeah, okay, for greatest hurdle, okay, ito po ang sabi niya, my greatest hurdle is time. I have less than 3 years to do the things that I will set out to do. It's time. Okay. Okay, so it's 11:59. Can we have, I think, 2 questions for both?
Hello. Actually, I don't really need to ask. Sorry. I don't need to ask this question to Dr. Flor because in every meeting I practically make this question every meeting to my deans and my colleagues in FICS. Pero to Dr. Garcia, you said earlier that you have a problem with staff complement. So I would like to ask the question that do you really think it's a good idea at this stage? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's a good idea, but at some point it is. But right now, how good idea do you think it is to develop an undergraduate program? Because I have been a program chair of both graduate program and undergraduate graduate program. Ang sarap ng buhay ko sa graduate program. Pagdating sa BAMS, I always complain kay Dean Bandelario, ma'am, palitan mo na ako. Kasi it's really a different ball game when it comes to undergraduate students. And given the fact that kami understaffed kami, you are understaffed. Pagdating sa undergraduate courses, ang daming estudyante ng mga yan, iba't ibang needs, iba-iba ng pinanggagalingan ng mga yan. So ang tanong ko lang, do you really you can make a scale of 1 to 10 or whatever, but do you really believe that at this stage that is a good thing for FMDS to get into?
Long press.
Yung undergraduate program that we have been developing so far is one in entrepreneurship. It's a full bachelor's program, but I, for one, have been questioning the need for such a long program for entrepreneurship. I personally believe that the longer you make a would-be entrepreneur stay in the academy for for so long, lalong pumupurol yan, yung kanyang potential to become entrepreneur. That's why I was thinking along the lines of associate in entrepreneurship na parang because there are plans at the UP system level, they're thinking of UPOU as an avenue for for UP to increase no yung access ng mga undergraduate students because they can no longer accept those students. And one of the programs that they're looking at no parang makagain ng access is through the associate program kasi it doesn't also have the OPCAT requirement if for certain types of students. Kaya nga iniisip ko kung if ever we're going to have an undergraduate program, it's not going to be a full bachelor's program anyway. So would still be relying on the GE program that is being handled by the Faculty of Education. I think yung FED ang mahihirapan dito, no? But the Dean of FED has been encouraging us to develop an associate entrepreneurship program as well. And the additional entrepreneurship courses would be just around 15 courses or 15 units, I mean, 15 units of courses. Or is that so? No? Kasi I'm also in the I also believe that the associate entrepreneurship would provide the opportunity for the student to take up a technical field which would be useful for the business. Like if you want to get into something digital kind of business, pwede kang ituloy mo sa BAMS yun. Kasi there are sa'yo pupunta, no? Yung mga there are things that you cannot learn. You can easily learn by studying in school, di ba? No, like mga technical courses, no, or if you want to get to agribusiness, then you get agriculture courses and make use of your entrepreneurship as a base or foundation for it. Or if you want to get food business, you get HRM. You get to know the skills, no, part of culinary and all, but the entrepreneurship has already in you. No? So when you take those technical courses, you already have this frame of mind na, how this fits into my business no as an entrepreneur. So along those lines siguro hindi although talagang bachelor's na develop na eh. So we just have to bite the bullet siguro. Pero sabi nga ng faculty secretary ng FMDS, talagang as much as possible gusto niya i-delay ang undergraduate program.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Garcia. Can we have the last question? Last question? Okay. No more? Okay, so before we end this public forum, we would like to invite everyone to the sectoral consultation this afternoon. Again, 1 to 2 would be the faculty, 2 to 3 admin and reps, then 3 to 4 students. And it would be held here in, the same venue, AVR. Okay? No more question? Sectoral consultation. 1 to 2 would be for the faculty, 2 to 3 for the reps and admin, then 3 to 4 for alumni and students, and 4 to 5 would be the interview of the nominees with the chancellor, both incoming and outgoing. 4 to 5. Okay. If there is none, thank you very much once again for coming here during the public forum. See you this afternoon.